Got it. 12. I've always loved numbers. I found there was always an answer. It wasn't left to opinion or debate. There was a right and wrong answer.
Tony Watson is a numbers man. For 30 years, the 63-year-old was the trusted external tax advisor for Lendlease, one of Australia's largest construction and property management groups.
It isn't the most popular role. No one stops by and says, gee, I'm going to go in and talk to the tax lawyer for a while now. But, you know, I've loved it. I've loved the intellectual challenge.
Tony was even asked to oversee the Lendlease founder's personal trust.
To have the trust of someone like Mr. Dusseldorp, who built that company from nothing, was just a great honour.
But in 2012, the father of three discovered an inconsistency. He alleged Lendlease was double-dipping through its retirement business.
We all claim tax deductions in our tax return. Lendlease was claiming them twice, to the tune of over 800 million. So the amount of tax I say they were improperly taking from Australians was over $250 million.
When Tony informed Lendlease, he assumed they'd fix the issue.
To find that not only they wouldn't do it, but they would then ostracise you for raising the problem, that was surprising and hurtful.
Tony says he was taken off the account, suffered a mental breakdown, and was later terminated from the firm he worked for.
So the days got really dark. There was a period where I didn't leave the house for months.
Tony had lost the job he loved. Meanwhile, Lendlease still hadn't fixed its tax problem.
Then you're really in a bind, because you say, well, I'll drop it now, or do you tell the tax office? And it was too big. I just couldn't look away, so I told the tax office.
With his family's support, he then sued Lendlease and PricewaterhouseCoopers, the owners of his former employer, for lost earnings.
We had what I call a life of luxury. We were lucky enough to live on the water, had money in super, we had other assets, we had savings, we had an investment portfolio. They're all gone.
With mounting legal costs, Tony and his wife are now living week to week renting in Sydney's south.
At the end of the day, it's lovely to have a house on the river, but if you don't have a high opinion of yourself, then what's life all about?
Hobart MP Andrew Wilkie has been advocating for better whistleblower protections.
When I spoke up over the Iraq War, look, I did lose my job. I had to resign from my job that day. It's cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost income. In some ways, it was the final straw and cost me my marriage. The community has been waiting 3 years for the government to enact meaningful reforms to protect whistleblowers. But so far, bugger all has been done.
In February, Wilkie introduced a bill to support and protect whistleblowers, but without Labor or Liberal backing, it's unclear whether it will ever get passed.
We recognise as a society that those who are brave enough to be witnesses in serious crime risk retaliation, and so we protect them. And it's exactly the same argument for whistleblowers.
Following Tony's tip-off, the ATO audited Lendlease's retirement business and took action, demanding $112 million in tax.
When the regulator actually comes out and says, well, in fact, here's a $100 million penalty bill, then you realise you're not allowed.
While Tony's been vindicated by the audit, his good deed came at an incredible cost, but his family has had his back the whole way.
It's very much a David v Goliath type battle. He's chosen to do the right thing instead of the easy thing.
The thing I've held on to, the thing I have now come to realise, are the things that you don't need to pack when you move. It's the love and the friendship that really counts.
Beside him every step along the way, his wife of 40 years, Sue.
What I have seen in Tony through this journey is his determination and resilience, and that's what I love about Tony.
Try to marry the person you want to be. And so all those qualities that I always sought, compassion, resilience, tolerance, humour, honesty, that's what she has. And throughout all of this, I've seen it more.
Come June, Tony will return to court. Without money for a lawyer, he'll be representing himself.
If he loses this case, there's a very good chance that he'll go bankrupt. But, you know, we look at it as well with what he's gained and how we'll come through it. We've certainly tightened up as a family. We've all had to rally. And I think we've grown as a unit in that way through love and support.
And that family is about to get even bigger, with not one but 2 grandchildren on the way.
And Darren, how far along are you now?
27 weeks yesterday, so almost third trimester.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty real.
Fantastic.
We're happy and we're proud to bring in this next generation of our family into a time where they can see their grandfather fighting the good fight and doing the right thing against adversity.
It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what car you drive. What matters at the end of the day is the strength of the relationships you have with those you love.
It's hard watch, isn't it? Lendlease did decline an interview, but did give us a statement saying it proactively contacted the ATO before submitting its 2018 tax return and that it rejects Mr Watson's allegations and will continue to vigorously defend the proceedings. You can read that full statement on our website, but it certainly makes you think twice about speaking out.
Yeah, and I think
doing the
often in
right
these
thing.
cases, like, we get bogged down in, like, this particular guy and this particular case, and was it, rather than looking at the broader issue of, are our laws fit for purpose? Like, do they provide too much of a disincentive for people to tell us really important things?
Which is why you need the Wilkie legislation to be
Totally. And it's amazing that we haven't gotten anywhere on that, I think. Anyway.